So what was your reaction getting the award, and how does it feel to be recognized for this?
Yeah, I mean, it caught me by surprise. It really caught off guard. So, man, I'm humbled. I'm honored. I just think, you know, my job is to represent all the people that help me, and the position I'm in now is to help the community and serve those that have served me. So that's really what it comes down to.
What are some of the things that you do help with? I mean, Jason, when he told you about it, seemed to allude to some things that you do, but didn't really get into them.
I mean, the mental health stuff's really been, as far as speeches and doing that thing the past, year and a half. So, I've talked to lots of schools, lots of companies. So that, and the Gold Star families this year, that was really initiated from my trainer, Gabe. When he was with his former employer, he always, helped out Gold Star families. So, and he's a former Marine. So, really hopped in on that this year. And then really, I think the Kilgore thing a few years ago with the gym. So I plan on doing more, I think, with them in my high school in the future. So I think that was real big for them, helping them out. And I just feel like their football team's really done well the past few years. So I think it's helped with recruiting and all sorts of stuff across the board. So, I was really happy with that.
Why was that something that connected with you?
Just because, I felt like JUCO, a lot of the schools don't have the funds. Like when I was there, we didn't have like a football, gym. It was really like the universal campus, the campus gym. So just helping them, they have limited resources, but, it really helped them as far as recruiting and all the other sports there. So, I remember my first game I played against Jason Pierre-Paul, Levante David, so just a few names at the JUCO level. I just, I was really thankful for them giving me an opportunity. So just a way to show gratitude towards them.
2021, when you did that, what made you want to use your platform when you did that?
I mean, since it became public here, I just felt instead of shying away from it, I felt like it could help a lot of people that may feel like they're in similar such situations or headspace. So it's kind of reluctant at first, but since it was public, I felt instead of shying away from it, just address it and use it to help people.
What kind of feedback have you gotten, and has it been gratifying to?
Just a lot of NFL players reaching out. So I feel like guys are, you're in this business and you have to work on yourself. Not only physically but the mental part. So just a lot of players reaching out over the past few years. I think that's probably the biggest thing that resonates with me is that I get to help these guys that are doing the same thing that I do.
When Jason helped announce or revealed to you that you were the nominee, he seemed obviously very happy.
Yeah.
How has, being vulnerable impacted and maybe changed some of your relationships with your teammates and helped you connect with them in a different way?
Yeah, I just think, it's opened the pathway for, lots of young players here. If they ever feel like they're in an uncomfortable spot or, maybe not have anybody to communicate with, I just feel like I'm kind of a open vessel for that. So, yeah, I just think the communication aspect has definitely improved. So, especially from where I was earlier in my career to now, I'm in a big spot to where I can help others and benefit them. So it's been really cool.
Have you seen a mindset shift in the NFL in your time in the league when it comes to mental health?
Yeah, I just think, other guys, myself, Darren Waller, Max Crosby, some of those guys have spoken out and, obviously they've had their struggles and their situations, but just how they've overcame them and, the players that they've become. And, I feel like it's, helped a lot of people obviously on their teams, but, just showing people that, hey, it doesn't matter what type of player you are or who you are, everybody's affected, in their own way.
How are you doing?
Feel good. Obviously last week was a setback, but, everything we want's in front of us. So, it's been a while since we, won in Dallas, I think it's 2017 or 18. So it's been a while. So, as far as our D-line, one of the better D-lines that we'll see. So, obviously a big game, but yeah, looking to get a win down there, man. We haven't done it in a long time.
Groin is okay, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, just it was like a pop a couple Fridays ago, and it was scar tissue popping. But at the time, I really didn't know it was something. I was kind of like, "Oh, did it happen again?" And then, so yeah, I thought the game plan, at least how I handled it, was good. So felt like I wouldn't be limping the rest of the season or nagged by it. So I was happy with how we handled it.
Getting back to the mental health, you spoke about how other players have reached out to you. Brandon Brooks, one thing he used to say was how many just ordinary people would talk to him about, like, him being public about it. Have you heard, or I guess when you do these speeches, do you connect with just regular fans?
Yeah, I mean, that's the majority of, besides the teams and schools that I speak to, but just the companies. Everybody has different pressures on them, and, some people bottle it up, some people don't know how to handle it or address it, but I think, when you see a public figure or somebody, on the football team that you see as a big, strong man, kind of get vulnerable and express, how they dealt with it, I think, it gives people courage to step out. Brandon was obviously huge for me, but, what made us so similar is that, we kind of felt the same things and experienced the same types of emotions. So, he's helped me, and then, he's using it now to help others. So it's been really cool.
How are you different now from before this?
Yeah, I just think, communication-wise, I'm more open. And so things that I, kind of prideful, as far as holding stuff in, I, did that for a number of years. So I just felt like, just addressing stuff and making it a priority instead of, not communicating. So I think, just me talking over the past, couple of years about it's really, helped me as well.
You mentioned embracing it, and you obviously had to talk with a lot of people too with it. And I imagine that gets to a spot where you have to be comfortable with yourself at first. So what helped you with that?
Yeah, I mean, I felt it for a long time. I just, whenever it became public in 21, I just felt like, the cat's already out of the bag. So, now that I can use it to help people. Just what I was telling these guys earlier, just all the guys in the league talking to me after the game or reaching out social media to help them. I think that's the biggest win for everybody. Just creating dialogue and then, getting help so people can play better. They can, be better off the field. So, everything together, I just think, it's really taken off.
Do you think that you would have handled the groin injury before the game differently pre-221?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. But yeah, I think, from some of those instances, you get time to learn and reflect on your decisions. So, but just, where we were as a team and, I felt like, it was possible for me to finish the season. So, yeah, I mean, just gave me, I guess good insight on what to do. So, but yeah, it wasn't a question.
Sense of what you guys kind of want to get to as for your identity on offense and maybe adjustments that need to be made to get there?
Yeah, just last game, we threw the ball a lot, but I think, when you look down to it, we weren't averaging, 2 yards a carry. So, like I said, a lot of times in games, if something doesn't work initially, sometimes we kind of get away from it. That just goes from execution. So usually if we hit a big play early in the running game or something, we usually stay with it. So I just think, situations we were in, especially the second half, they took a lead and they were kind of, behind the chains the rest of the game. So, it's the way it goes. But, I mean, obviously moving forward, we'd, like to be more balanced in a perfect world. But, it goes down to execution. The last game we weren't doing it early enough, and so it's hard to get confidence in it.
Are you aware of this team's record when you don't play versus when you do play? And if so, what do you make of that?
Yeah, the game's always about matchups. So, if I'm out, obviously defenses do different stuff, but a lot of factors go into that. I think, having to change the game plan late, stuff like that. It's all goes together. But yeah, it's just fortunate to play here and be with the players that I've been with. But yeah, it goes along. If Kelson doesn't miss very many games, or if somebody's not there, Jordan. It makes a big difference. Just from a communication standpoint, guys get so used to playing together. It's kind of like that with Cam. You get different guys in, it changes a lot of stuff just across the board. So, but yeah, it helps whenever I get to play.
What's it like going from Nick Bosa to DeMarcus Lawrence? So, well, obviously they're both very talented, but also stylistically.
Yeah, man, they're just, just two great players. You know, when you look at Bosa, just a lot of play strength, can really get under you. I mean, same with Micah. Just, you know, Mike is a 4'3" guy, so a little bit more speed, and then, you know, obviously he's 6'2", 6'3", so just his ability to bend, and I think he's really developed as a pass rusher. Like the past 2 years, he has a lot more moves than he had. So, yeah, man, it's really tough to contain him. So, yeah, and then DeMarcus, I think everybody sleeps on him, but he's, you know, obviously been a mainstay there for the, you know, past 10 years. So, you know, I think teams realize that the teams are trying to double team him, and they, you know, leave him out there to get some sacks. So, yeah, obviously a big challenge, you know, this week.
In that video was that, you know, this is an award that sometimes goes to someone who throws kind of money at a cause, and you put a lot of your time into things. How much time do you spend, whether it's talking through stuff that, you know, maybe the media's not hearing about?
Yeah, you know, as I gotten older, I just feel like your priorities change, and you know, as you're trying to make your way in the league, you put a lot of kind of emphasis on yourself selfishly, and then as I've gotten older, you know, you realize maybe your time, you know, you have time limit on what you're trying to do with your career, but I'm just trying to show appreciation for, you know, everybody's that's helped me, you know, really with everybody here. There's always people that has, you know, been behind them, supporting them. So just to show them, you know, everything that they've meant to me, and for me, it's just about communicating and telling people how much I care for them, and showing it.
There's a video on social media, Lane, that has you doing like the club, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a club-like move where you're using the defender's weight to kind of throw them down. What is that called, and how did you develop it? Where did you get it from?
Yeah, it's a draw technique. So I'm trying to sell the defensive end like it's a pass, and, you know, they're used to getting off the ball pretty quick. So, yeah, I mean, I watched Tyron Smith do it a number of years. I watched JP do it. So it's probably one of my favorite plays just because I get to use their momentum and, you know, a big FU up the field. So, yeah, that probably is my favorite play. Besides bootleg, that's probably my favorite play.